First Reaction Podcast. First Reactions Podcast.
That's the intro. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the First Reactions Podcast.
The only
5-star podcast.
Oh, no, we've got to leave it at the only from now
The
on.
only?
Just leave a big gap and then laugh and then not address it.
As
every
you can
single
see
podcast.
by our most recent review from Jamie, it says, the only, in capital letters,
5-star podcast. Oh, speaking of the only 5-star podcast, I left you a voicemail.
Yeah, you did. It was hilarious.
I've just thought, are you able to get that up? Can we listen to that on the podcast?
I think I still have it.
Just we'll be able to like play it through the mic or something.
Yeah.
Because our friend that was on our latest.
Yes, it was on Jamie's phone.
Yeah.
I was going to say I've not got it, but yeah, it was
Okay,
Jamie's
good.
phone.
Our friend that was on the latest episode of the podcast that was about
The Liverpool fan.
Yeah, there was about what final?
Their Champions League final.
There you go.
That was
Remembered.
2 weeks ago now.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've done our last podcast. We'll talk about what we've been doing and stuff.
Right.
But I was out with him, and he went, mate. One of my mates told me that you're that. Well, actually, you know what? Should we let the voicemail speak for
Yeah,
itself?
voicemails will tell the story.
The voicemail will tell the story. Here we go. First reactions.
Hi, Will. I'm at the pub with Will and Charlie and Sam and Katie.
Hi, Will.
We
I'm
just
with Will.
managed to figure out that Sam didn't know the meme about it being the only 5-star podcast. He 100% thought it was the only 5-star podcast. He started telling me, he's like, mate, I've just found out. I don't know if you know. There's another podcast that has 5
Can't even finish my sentence. I'm laughing so much.
He didn't actually know.
That's so high
He
pitch.
was letting me know as though it's going to be like, mate, you're not the only 5-star. You need to stop saying that now. I've seen a podcast that's 5 stars. Because he told people at work and they showed him. Oh, mate. I hope you don't just ignore this voicemail because this is like the best thing in the world. If you do ignore this voicemail, hopefully I can show you on the First Reactions podcast.
Podcast.
Goodbye.
Alright, I have no idea how good quality that will be and if you could even understand what I'm saying.
You can make it out.
So, for audio listeners, I'm very sorry. I'll put some subtitles up probably for the video version. I'd probably hate the fact that I've said that because
Yeah,
it's
that
going to
would
be
take
so
a while.
annoying. But the gist is our mate thought that we were legit like the only
only.
5-star podcast and that we were bragging about it because it was a really good thing.
We laughed about it on the podcast with him as well.
Yeah.
We were like, oh, I can't believe that's
You're
a
in
meme.
on that meme.
You got that meme, Sam. And he's like, yeah, 5-star podcast, am I right?
And his mate fucking says they're not the only 5-star.
Yeah, 'cause
and
he
Sam was
told-
legit like, no, they are. He was like proper. He was backing us up.
We
which is
told
sick.
people at work about a podcast, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, he told them to listen. He also told his girlfriend to listen. And
Did
then he was saying in jokes about him ripping into her from the podcast that she didn't get. So he's like, you've clearly not seen
Clearly
it.
not
then."
seen it,
And
then.
she was like, right, well, I'm going to have to see it if you talked about me. How long is it? We were like, over an hour. And she's like, yeah,
I mean, Narcos.
Narcos.
Not gonna watch that. Is she proper Scouse?
Yeah, she's like proper Scouse. Jamie literally
Bless
like
her.
couldn't understand her at all.
Oh, I mean, Jamie's just retarded though, so that's just Jamie.
Yeah, there was one point where she talked for like 5 minutes, and then Jamie just looked at me like, I literally didn't understand what she said. Like when she got up to the toilet, felt really bad. She was really nice though. I could
I
understand.
need to meet her another time.
Yeah, definitely. Side note: this podcast is just us talking about a load of random things. So enjoy. Time codes in the description / comments depending on what you're watching on. Right. So where have we been? What have you been doing?
Where have we been?
What have you been up to, man?
Well, we missed a week of the podcast. And it's pretty much my fault because I've been pretty busy.
Well, I mean, first of all, we've been doing a podcast for quite a while now. What is this, episode
16.
I've written 16, so I hope it's 16.
It's 16.
And that's like,
It's more
it's
than
not
one
been
a week.
16 weeks because
No,
we did
yeah.
2 a week for like 4
A couple, yeah.
weeks, I think. So we've done pretty good. I think we can give ourselves a little patty on the backy.
Patty on the back.
Patty on the backy. Because we've genuinely done like really well to be able to keep that up, especially
Not bad, yeah.
considering that that's pretty much the amount of like regularity that we'd see each other like probably
Normally,
like once
yeah.
a week, and we would see each other
Without the
twice a
podcast,
week,
yeah.
and also seen each other to like go out and do things. So
wow.
it's been going very well. I'm
Big
I'm
up
really
first
pleased.
reactions.
Yes.
The only.
So you've been really busy with work. Obviously,
Yes.
you work for a gaming company. So
Yeah, so it's been E3. So obviously, wait. Yeah, I've worked.
wait.
I've worked 10 days straight in a row.
Oh my god!
And a couple of those days have been till like 4 a.m. in the morning because
LA
E3
hours.
is in LA.
Yeah.
And I didn't fly out to LA, so I covered it from home.
Which
no, it's good fun.
It is a good thing and a bad thing. Obviously the hours are bad, but E3
Yeah,
being so non-stop is hard on you. But
still exciting though.
I volunteered, like I chose to stay up and watch quite a few of the E3 streams
Yeah.
because I genuinely thought some of them were pretty good.
Even if
Not
I
much
wasn't
cringe.
working, I probably would have stayed up for
Yeah, I would have stayed up for
some
them
of
as
it
well.
at least.
Not much cringe this time round.
Not too bad.
Yeah, I
No.
watched a PewDiePie video.
Yeah, I saw that as well.
About E3 because he's done cringe compilations that are just on E3.
There was no Jesse Wellens moments.
No, he had to put Jesse Wellens in that
Yeah,
video to make
sure.
up for the lack of cringe.
that clip is still brilliant. I mean, I feel for him because he did a video afterwards saying that like public
Explaining it.
speaking is like makes him so nervous.
And that the
but it's
teleprompter
still
fucked up or something.
yeah, and it
Yeah.
messed up, but it's still funny.
That is, it's such a good video. Like, I'm sure he understands how funny
funny
it is.
yeah.
But he'd also, I'm sure, like, just watching it back, get instant anxiety.
There
and feel
was
horrible
one
about it.
moment that was for some vampire game. I don't
Yeah,
even
you
know
mentioned
the game.
that, and I've not seen anyone else cover that.
It wasn't too bad, but it was almost the same. So the host was like, "So what do you do as a vampire in this game?" And he was like, "Yeah, yeah, vampire in this game." And then he goes into it. So it was only a
okay.
couple of seconds, but
Well, you need to try and find that clip and link me it, and I'll
try.
insert it here.
Okay. For example, you might choose to in disciplines you might choose to basically get like more and more in like say coercive behavior, like
Okay, like
coercive like
persuasive.
persuasive
Right.
negotiation tactics.
Right.
Like you might
Give
try
me your
and-
blood.
If
I'll
there was
try.
no clip, then Will's fault.
yeah, I'll try.
I'll try, he says
But
it
no,
5
it was
times.
pretty good. The highlights, obviously, big boy Keanu Reeves coming out on
Yes,
stage.
mate, that's like...
That was
I feel like we
unexpected.
could have a whole entire podcast just talking about
on Keanu Reeves.
Yes, just literally on Keanu Reeves. I feel like genuinely he is becoming out of nowhere.
the
He's
new
becoming
internet.
the
like, hype
biggest
man.
celebrity possibly in the world at the moment. Like he is massive, and I don't know
Covering
where
all.
it came from.
He's owning the movie industry at the moment. Now the gaming industry.
Yeah, he did an interview on. It wasn't on Radio 1, but it was like a Radio 1 presenter went to E3 and interviewed him, and said, "Do you feel like gaming is getting big enough now that Hollywood is having to make notice?" And he said, I can't remember the way that the Radio 1 presenter phrased it, but basically Keanu Reeves turned around and went,
was like,
"No, I think gaming has made it so Hollywood has to pay attention. It's like Hollywood isn't helping the gaming industry. The gaming industry is so massive now that Hollywood, if they
Yeah.
want to survive, has to like...
Well, Marvel have got their own Avengers game now.
Yeah.
Which is its own completely new story.
And it looks all right.
Looks
It's
all
not
right.
even doesn't even seem to be based on a comic that I can think of.
No.
So what? Captain America dies, and then
Yeah, I don't know. It looks like he's dead because there's like a mural
Memorial,
thing
yeah.
for him.
Iron Man and Tony Stark and Bruce Banner are like having an argument, and then Thor's hammer's just there, so he's obviously left after that incident or whatever.
Yeah. Apparently, the characters in the game are supposed to be more based off the comic book characters instead of the
'cause
movie people.
They don't look like
Yeah.
the actors, which I really like.
It's different. I'll probably play it.
Oh, 100%. I mean,
Yeah.
what's it on?
Everything, I think.
Okay, good. I was going to say, if
pretty
that's
sure.
another PlayStation exclusive, I would be pissed.
I mean, I'm not sure. It could be, but
Yeah.
I think it's on everything.
I think I just assumed it was PlayStation because of Spider-Man, but that's because they own Sony in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'd want to own a PlayStation just to play the Spider-Man game, but
Yeah.
so there was a lot for E3. Like you said, Keanu Reeves for Cyberpunk 2077. Without Keanu Reeves, that first cinematic trailer and all
Cyberpunk
the
looks
information
great
we've seen
anyway,
so
yeah.
far looks fucking insane.
I saw someone tweeted CD Projekt Red, who are the developers for Cyberpunk, saying, "Can we have sex with Keanu Reeves in the game?" and they responded. They
I
like.
thought you meant they tweeted that. They were asking like
Can
Keanu
you?
Reeves for permission.
Can
Can we have
Keanu,
sex with
please?
you in the game?
And they neither confirmed nor denied it.
So what did they say?
I can't remember.
Did they
but there's
say,
a
"We
tweet
neither confirm"?
that I can't remember what I said, but
He probably has a sex scene then.
Probably.
And they didn't want to be like, no.
yeah.
That's
But he's supposed to be like a major part in the game. He's not just like, oh, there's Keanu Reeves, and then he's gone.
Yeah.
Like, he's supposed to be one of the biggest characters.
Well, I'm assuming that scene that we saw in the E3 trailer is like the start of the game.
I guess so, yeah.
And then he like, so what is he like part cyborg then, and he gets like deactivated, and then
Yeah,
Keanu
I don't
Reeves'
really
character
know.
reactivates him or something.
It's kind of like in a punk kind of future.
Everyone looks
Worlds
like
and-
they're a cyborg.
Yeah, it's grimy.
cyberpunk, like
There's. Have you seen Altered Carbon
Yes,
on the
I saw a
Netflix
bit
series?
of it.
I think
It
it's
looks the
kind
same
of like
vein
that,
as that,
world, I guess.
100%.
But there was an original Cyberpunk game ages ago.
Oh,
Like I can't remember. Like literally before we.
is that like
would've-
saying the like original Fallout games, like the
I
first?
think
couple,
so.
Like it's
Like
not
it's
really
nothing
anything.
similar.
Yeah, but still, I can't believe that
I'm
this
gonna play
game
it.
is existing, and I just want to play it. Same with obviously new Pokemon.
Yeah.
But they did the Pokemon Direct,
Yeah,
which
so it's
for me
separate.
it feels like because we usually that's kind of old news for us currently. It feels like we would have done a podcast in between, so
Yeah,
I feel
I
like
know.
we wouldn't be talking about it. But
Well, yeah, we don't. We usually talk about Pokemon stuff. So
yeah,
let's talk
so
about it,
let's fucking talk about Pokemon news. It's one of my bullet points, so we'll skip ahead.
Oh,
Fucking
fair.
talk about this
Yeah.
shit. So Dynamax. Right then.
Yeah. Everything else looks really sick. I think.
The open world, the wildlands or
Yeah.
wilds or whatever
It's
they call
not.
it.
It's not fully open world, but there are
But the
open world
sections,
areas.
yes,
Yeah.
they look amazing. And the fact that I was so... Everyone got really annoyed for Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee that there were Pokemon in the overworld and you ran into them to catch them. And I thought that was amazing
I think
because
it's
you
cool,
see
yeah.
them running around.
Yeah.
It's rather than running in grass and there being a random... Like, imagine running into grass.
Oh, there's a Rattata again.
But no,
Oh.
running into grass, not seeing any Pokemon, and then there being like a Charizard. Like, obviously, you'd see that. You can't just randomly run into a
True.
Charizard by accident. So I like the fact that
The
it
realism.
shows that now. Yeah. The new Pokemon look sick.
Some of them do. The Raven, Steel Raven one.
Corviknight
Yeah,
looks
that's
amazing.
cool. And I think they were showing that to be like a fast travel kind of Pokemon that you can use to.
So what
Fast
they've
travel.
done in the last couple of games is they got rid of HMs, so like Fly and Surf and all that kind of
Oh,
stuff.
okay.
They use Pokemon to like facilitate that. So you
Yeah.
get like a Pokemon helper.
Yeah.
And Corviknight will probably be that. They said it's like a taxi
slave.
service. Yes, a literal slave. As opposed to the hidden slaves that there are in Pokemon already. Which is basically all Pokemon.
Pretty much all, yeah. There was the sheep one.
Yes, the sheep one. I thought it's pretty cute, but
Looks
I
pretty
don't really
random.
care about it.
Yeah, it could evolve into something cool.
Wooloo. I quite like it.
Like, is it Ampharos?
Yeah.
The first evolution, Fluffy, is like, that's
alright.
pretty much a sheep as
Yeah.
well, but Ampharos is cool.
I love Ampharos. Yeah, it's one of my
So
favourite Pokemon.
it could evolve into something cool. The turtle,
That's one of my
Snapper
favourite
one.
Pokemon already. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That
I can't
and
remember any of the names.
I think
my bad.
they're knocking it out of the park with the new Pokemon designs. Like,
So far,
the-
they could
the-
have just showed the decent ones.
yeah, the average looking ones, the ones that I don't really care about, are better than the generic Pokemon in most games.
Yeah,
from,
most
like,
gens.
recent generations. There is a big bomb that has been dropped on the Pokemon community that you might not be aware of because I'm into that kind of stuff.
Is it that there's going to be a Corgi Pokemon?
No.
There is.
There is going to be a Corgi Pokemon.
Yeah.
That brings me on to another thing that I wanted to talk about.
All right.
That's to do with leaks for Pokemon. And I just remembered that I've not got one of those things prepared, but oh well.
That's all right. First reactions. 5 stars. Only. 5 stars only. You can do more if you want, but 5 stars only.
We only offer 5 stars. I'm very sorry.
What were you going to say?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying
You
to
were going to say something, and then I said Corgi.
Big bomb hit the Pokemon community, which is you can't have every single Pokemon that has ever existed in this Pokemon game. Mm-hmm. So they're going to limit the amount of Pokemon in there. So the National Dex is a thing that's existed in every single Pokemon game where you can trade through lots of different means. At the moment, it's Pokemon Bank, where you put all your Pokemon into this Pokemon Bank and you can transfer from that to pretty much any single game that's
Right.
got Wi-Fi access.
But you won't be able to.
So only the Pokemon that you can catch in the game can you put into the game. I think it's pretty alright.
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah.
If I played it, I'd only catch the ones that are in the game anyway.
It's definitely a problem for like really avid Pokemon people that want to transfer their like special Pokemon to each game, and people are getting quite annoyed because they say they might want to transfer this really good competitive Pokemon that they've trained into this game, which I think it's really good for that reason, because
start fresh.
It's some of the things that you have to do to train the Pokemon are insane, but if you can't trade it into the game, you can't catch it in the game, so it's not an issue. No one else is going to have that Pokemon, so
it's
you don't
playing
lose
field.
the Pokemon. And what it means is some Pokemon that might be like in the S tier for competitive, you might not be able to catch. So it's going to change the whole entire competitive scene for this game, because there aren't certain Pokemon that are going to be in it.
Make it more exciting.
Exactly. I think that's a really, really good idea.
Yeah.
And on the basis of just from a casual person playing Pokemon, you're not going to have hundreds of Pokemon that you're like, don't care about this one, don't care about this one, don't care about this one. You're going to have the best of the best, or at least like Pokemon that suit that region. Because a lot of the Pokemon that have been released recently suit certain regions, and I don't think they should all be in England.
Yeah.
So
Donald Trump, or not Donald Trump because it's in England, Boris Johnson, potentially the next Prime Minister, has built a wall that stops Pokemon coming in from
no, you've heard
regions.
it here first. Young Goose was a Pokemon that looked just like Donald Trump. He had his hair. Yeah. Young Goose is going to get an English form, and he's going to look like Boris Johnson. Confirmed. He's going to get like a really fat form.
How do you spell Young Goose?
YUNGOOS.
Young Goose.
And then its evolution, I can't remember what its evolution is, but find that, because it looks even more like Donald Trump.
Young Goose Trump is the next search for it.
That's the evolution there.
Yes.
It's so good, isn't it?
A Boris Johnson version of it.
Exactly.
Rule Britannia, am I right?
So, the leaks that I wanted to talk about to do with Pokemon.
The water gym is leaking.
The water gym
Again?
is leaking. Not again. There was this leak that was released. This particular leak got everything that was announced at E3 right.
I heard rumours about there being big Pokemon before there was the Nintendo Direct.
But like, it's being
the
called
one?
Dynamax.
Oh, really?
Like, specific shit. And they've got
person?
They've got like 20 other points in their leak.
What else do they know?
So they know some other stuff. Now, I know that this is an article that has the leaks in, because I scrolled down to see all the ones that were confirmed, and then I didn't look at the ones that weren't confirmed. I don't know if I
First
want
reaction's
to.
exclusive.
Yeah, that's. I wanted to bring it up to like kind of address it, but I didn't want
I mean, if they've got everything right exactly so far, then they're probably going to get the other stuff right too.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't know if I want to have things spoiled that Nintendo haven't officially announced yet. Like, they're going to release things that they want us to know, so I don't want to know things they don't want us to know.
Yeah.
But this links to one thing that I did see, which was another different type of a leak that was, I think it was by, I'm going to butcher his name, but it was something China, and it was like Riddle China or something like that.
Okay.
Basically, it's a Cryptic China, maybe, something like that.
I don't know.
It's a guy that is infamous for leaking Pokemon things,
right?
But he does it in pictures, and he doesn't
Cryptic
type anything.
Pictures.
So, for example,
Cryptic China.
He, for the starters, put the main starter. Oh shit!
Joe punched the mic for the audio people.
For the starters, he put the main starter, then a question mark because he doesn't know what the middle evolution is going to be, and then the final evolution, which was...
Wait, for the next Pokemon?
Yes, and then he put a...
They know it already?
Well, we don't. That's the thing.
But he knows.
Yeah, so he put a big green gorilla hitting drums.
So that would be Grookey's evolution.
But he literally, like, took a picture of a gorilla, coloured it green, and gave it drums.
Okay.
So he's not, leaking the info like that, but he's, like...
Just...
letting info out like that.
That would be pretty sick, though.
So I've already seen this, and it shows quite a few Pokemon that haven't been announced. Like, they show a really tall, long Meowth, and a really furry Meowth with like a mane.
What? So someone dressed up as Meowth, a furry Meowth.
Oh, right.
You get it?
I got the meme. That's a good meme. And those two things seem strange. There's quite a few other things that they've put on there that seem strange, like Sobble's final evolution is a blue chameleon on the body of James Bond. So it's like a chameleon spy that apparently Sobble's going to evolve into. What? Which I think would be quite cool. It just doesn't really suit Sobble, does it?
Yeah. Not from what we've seen of Sobble so far, anyway.
No, he looks quite sad and
Yes.
he doesn't look mysterious. So I'm excited. If it does go down that route, I'm excited to see him look mysterious.
Sounds intriguing.
But one of the things that convinced me that this was real is this picture was up before the Nintendo Direct and then the E3 anything.
Yeah.
And they put a corgi with a lightning bolt. So you just put a picture of a corgi with a lightning bolt coming off it.
Yeah.
And then a couple of other things that I've already talked about. But obviously, the corgi with the lightning bolt is confirmed.
They did
and it
that.
couldn't be more corgi with a lightning bolt tail.
Yeah.
Like, it literally is just that. So
Jeez.
he got that spot on. And he's been known to get things right from previous games that have been confirmed since.
Who is this guy?
So
He's got an inside scoop.
I'm not going to address anything in this article because as soon as I clicked
You don't want to see.
I didn't want to see. But
it's good
that,
to know.
that Chinese picture thing I've already seen, and I'm pretty sure that confirms, for me at least, I feel like that's going to be where they go. Like, that's what Pokemon is already doing for the evolution. So I think Grookey is confirmed to be a drummer, which is fucking sick.
Nice, yeah.
I think Grookey might be my pick now.
Drummer
as a
boy.
drummer. 1, 2, 3. And Sobble is already my favourite starter at the moment.
Yeah.
And it becoming a spy would be pretty fucking sick.
What about the fire one?
I don't really care about. And I think
What about if it turns into something really cool?
I think it's becoming another firefighter. Like,
Right then.
not a firefighter.
Firefighter, that would be good.
But like a fire/fighter type starter, which we've had like 7 of.
Yeah, loads.
We haven't, but and then there was a couple of other pictures that were in there that looked quite cool and like possible evolutions and things like that. And then there was a theory that I heard, not a first reactions theory or a tinfoil hat theory, but an actual theory that seems quite likely. So the main 2 starters from the games, the 2 wolves, Zacian and Zamazenta.
The legendaries?
Yes.
Yeah.
What did I say?
Starters?
Right, I meant legendaries.
Okay.
The box art wolf chunks.
Yeah.
Their names sound a bit strange, and usually most legendaries have strange names, and they have links to like mythology or like things like that. The links to these 2 seem to just be the colours. So Cyan and Magenta.
Zacian.
Magenta.
Wow.
It's the colours of the logos on the box art.
Jeez.
And a guy called Noggin, who I think I might have mentioned before in previous Pokemon things, he does amazing, like really in-depth, like looks into names, all sorts of kind of characteristics of the Pokemon, the lore, like Norse mythology, all this kind of stuff. And literally the most compelling evidence he found was the colours. That it just.
I mean,
it's like
they sometimes name Pokemon or things in the world based on just basic things.
Yeah, and it seems like they're just going
like
pretty basic.
Zapdos, Articuno, and Moltres, Uno, Dos, Tres.
Exactly.
Same kind of thing.
So one thing he pointed out is Cyan and Magenta are 2 of the 4 colours that you need for printer ink, or like those, not printer ink in general, but like, you know, you get the 3 main colours and then black.
Okay,
for printers.
yeah.
It's, I can't remember what that's called, but that's a thing.
Yeah.
So he's proposing that the 3rd legendary, the one that the dogs are kind of like trying to avoid, that's coming at them in the sky in that trailer.
Oh, I didn't even realise that's what they were doing.
They're looking up and something was coming down, I thought. And they think it's going to be like a yellow bird, or perhaps a black bird. Maybe Corviknight is going to be like a special legendary form, like, because we've seen legendaries that have lower evolutions kind of now, like pseudo legendaries, a bit like I can't remember the name of it, but the Wolfy one that has the lower evolution. I don't know if you know what it is.
Lucario.
Zoroark. That's
who I meant when I said Ludic.
You didn't say Lucario.
Wait, what did I say?
You said Lucario.
Lucario, my bad.
Yeah, so Lucario, not alright then.
Right then,
Zoroark,
Lucario. Zoroark
is
Toothbrush.
similar, as it's not a main legendary Pokemon, but it's got like special chungies to it. I think Corviknight is gonna have
be like that.
an evolution that is gonna be like really, really special and crucial to the story. And that will be the black part of the cyan, magenta, black, and then there's going to be like a even specialer yellow Pokemon. I think there's going to be 4.
So it's going to be based on printer ink.
Well, that does seem like from what he was saying, he really convinced me that that's going to be a thing. So if there is, they might not do black because apparently if you combine all colours, they make black, but specifically cyan, cyan, yellow, and magenta. If you combine them, it creates black. So his theory is that there'll just be a yellow one, but who knows? Well, Game
that'll
Freak.
be cool though.
But yeah,
Game Freak, no.
The really cool
Chinese crypto guy that leaks it knows. Chinese cryptocurrency. He bought
Chung coin.
Should make that.
How do you make a cryptocurrency?
Don't know. There's a way.
People
have done it. But we didn't really say our opinions on Dynamax. Everything else I think looks sick, but then Dynamax is just like, oh look, Pokemon big.
Yeah, it seems like they just added a gimmick for the sake of adding a gimmick.
Yeah.
And
it's basically, is it Mega Evolutions?
Yep.
But they're big instead of looking cooler.
Yeah, it's literally that. Their moves, the animations for the moves when they get big, I think they get special animations, which is cool, but just give them special animations to keep them small and just make it based around like tournament battling, which would be amazing. Like,
they don't need to be big, I don't think.
In the anime, there's never a point where they make Pokemon big and you can clearly see what's happening and it looks sick and all the audience are still excited. They didn't need to make them massive to make it believable that the audience would see.
Bigger is not better in this case, I don't think.
My 2-incher still stands. Right then, that's not quiet.
That was a pan.
That was Japan. What was that noise? You laughed and the monster in your belly liked it as well.
And the grumble at the same time. Oh, Japan. Oh, chapati. Oh, kamikaze. I was going to say something else then, but I turned it down a little bit. Pearl Harbor / Hiroshima. Did it again, see? It gets excited by nuclear explosions / disasters. Chernobyl. Don't like Chernobyl.
No. So this thing is something that I've just seen like 5 minutes ago that I thought was pretty funny to talk about. I just wrote moon and then a link to a Twitter article.
Moon.
And it's another one of those things. The reason I want to talk about it is it's an Onion article, but real life.
Okay.
Like it's something that you wouldn't expect is real.
The Onion's the like newspaper that has like fake article, the parodies. Yeah.
It did like fake news that's obviously fake that isn't trying to like trick you.
Yeah.
Basically, it's a tweet that is a guy that's done an article for CBS that is NASA have found the Star Trek symbol on the moon. No, on Mars.
Why did you type moon then if it's from Mars?
Then it's probably on the moon. Why did I think it was Mars all of a sudden? It's on
Mars. Why did you type moon?
That's a good meme. But mate, they found it.
The Star Trek Starfleet logo.
Yeah, they found it. They didn't put it there. No one's put it there.
It's probably just a coincidence.
No, but it's even got the one shorter side. I'll show you what the Starfleet logo looks like.
Are you sure it's not from a Hollywood movie set like the moon landings conspiracy theory?
Oh, it's only coming up with the fucking thingy. Look!
Oh, okay, yeah, sure.
Look how similar it is. That's crazy. I know it's obviously not Star Trek confirmed or some
Pretty
stupid
similar.
shit, but like, isn't that insane?
You know,
I realise this is really good material for a podcast because we're looking at an image.
No, it's cool. No, that's podcast shit. You know,
podcasts are shit. That's what you said.
We're 5 stars, so it's all right though. Am I
Everyone's
right,
podcast
Sam?
is Shit.
But no, that's pretty cool. You know,
No, that's pretty cool. I don't really care.
the TV program Gladiators. Mm-hmm. Their logo was like a funky G.
Was that on the moon?
And
Mars?
I went to the moon.
And I saw it from space.
Near where I used to live, on the pavement, like embroidered into the pavement, was the Gladiators logo.
Embroidered. Well, first of all, you can't embroider on the pavement. The pavement was made out of wool. Someone had embroidered on the pavement.
Beveled? It was like it.
Engraved.
No, it wasn't engraved. 'Cause it jutted out like that.
Oh, so yeah, embeveled or embossed.
Yeah, something like that.
You emboss things on Photoshop.
Yeah.
That's all. That's how I know
a
what
funky
that is.
G embossed into the pavement, and it was like exactly the same. And I always thought they were going to do something on the TV program, like if you see the logo in your local area, send it in. You get tickets to the show. And I thought I was going to win,
And you didn't.
Well, no, because it wasn't the thing.
Maybe someone on Mars is going to win tickets onto
Star Trek.
I don't even. The Starship Enterprise. There we go. I nearly lost nerd points, but I gained them back. I gained virginity points.
Got your virginity back.
Gained it back.
What are you going to say then? I thought of that too.
Let's stop.
I decided not.
That's why I had to stop, because I was like, all I can think of is that. So I need to think of something else.
Like JB versus Tom.
Yeah.
This is Justin Bieber versus Tom Cruise.
It is.
It is.
Have you heard about this as well then?
Yeah, I don't know much about it apart from Justin
from the
Bieber just
tweet.
called him out.
Yeah.
Wants to fight him.
Out of fucking nowhere.
What did he say?
He said that he wants to challenge him to like an MMA fight. I think he literally, I mean, I don't want to misquote him, but it's first reactions, so he gives a fuck. I'm pretty sure he said, if you're not a pussy, come and fight me. Like,
Have you not seen him in Mission Impossible?
also, there's a 29-year-old man. That might be a push for
What,
Justin Bieber.
I think he's younger than that, but still.
Challenging a 54-year-old to a fight.
Pretty normal behaviour.
Yeah. And Tom Cruise would totally take him.
I think he would, you know.
Yeah. Like,
I mean,
to
they're
be able
both like
to-
4 foot tall.
True, yeah. Height difference isn't going to be anything. And to be able to keep the physique that he has to keep at that age, he has to do so much more work than Justin Bieber would have to do to keep a physique. So he's going to be ripped, chung.
I would like to see that fight, though. I would pay to see
100%.
that.
Do you know who replied to that tweet and said that,
Logan Paul.
said that he'd... I mean, obviously, I'm pretty sure Logan Paul replied to that tweet, but I've not even seen that, and I'm pretty sure he has. Someone replied to the tweet and called someone else out. Conor McGregor replied to the tweet and said...
What?
If... I can't remember his name. The guy from the most recent Transformers, from like when it wasn't Shia LaBeouf, Mark Wahlberg. So he called out Mark Wahlberg and said, if Mark Wahlberg accepts my challenge to fight him, then Justin Bieber and Tom Cruise could be on the undercard.
That would
Like,
be amazing.
What the fuck is
Why
going
would Mark
on?
Wahlberg accept that? Like, he's an actor. He's pretty ripped.
He's an actor and he was a rapper at one point. And the way Conor McGregor put the tweet out was like it was like Mark Wahlberg had done fighting
He was
before.
an MMA professional.
So I'm not sure if he has, and I just don't know.
I think he used to be in a gang. Genuinely.
Really?
Mark Wahlberg, yeah, I'm pretty sure he used to be in a gang.
And he's in Ted.
And now he's in Ted, singing about being scared about thunder with a
You
teddy
could suck my
bear.
balls. Yeah, that's... I just can't believe that basically, like, the real world has become YouTube drama.
Yeah, it's literally YouTube drama.
Like, what
Did you see Logan Paul drop that Russian guy
No?
in his? I'm pretty sure it was fake.
Probably.
But I think it was some guy pretending to be the Russian boxer from Rocky in the movie. He looked like him, like Drago. I think he's called something Drago. And he
Drago
just
Malfoy.
turned up to his house and was like, "I will box you, Logan," in boxing shorts and gloves.
And he just knocked him out.
And he got him to sign an NDA waiver form, like in case they got injured. And they're like, "Oh, should we do it? Should we not do it?" all this time, this Russian guy's just standing outside on the road, and then they go back out and like,
Is
come
he
on
in
then.
shot?
They're
just deciding, and he's in the background like, help me.
No, they go inside to decide, and he's stood outside.
Oh, right.
And then Logan goes back out and goes, if I win, I get you, girl. Just doesn't even need to be in there at all. But then they have a tussle, and he drops him. But, you know, KSI's trainer...
Yes. Vidal,
yeah, that's
Vidal
it.
Riley.
He did a video on it
He's a
and
legend.
basically showed that it was just fake.
Fair enough.
I mean, Logan looked hench as fuck, and his punches looked really strong.
He's always looked hench as fuck and always looked
Yeah.
strong, so he didn't need anything like that.
But he did a
why
jab,
would he do a fake video?
and the guy went down on a jab, and Vidal was like, you wouldn't go down on a normal jab like that.
Yeah.
And he did. But, I mean, it still looked pretty cool. Anyway.
I've not seen the video. I don't really like Logan Paul. His Flat Earth video was alright that we did a podcast on. Link in the description. Otherwise, yeah, not really big fan. So, something else that's happened since we've been on our 1 week hiatus. New Batman has been announced. I assume you know about this.
Is it the Twilight Boy?
It is. Robert Pattinson
Yeah.
has been announced as Batman. What are your thoughts? What are your first reactions?
I've seen a lot of people like outraged, but I'm not really that bothered. I think he'd be quite good. I think he'd be alright.
If anything, I'm excited.
Most people know him from Twilight, but he's been in loads of cool indie stuff after that, and he's a good actor.
He's also, when he was still filming the Twilight movies, said he hated the fandom and didn't want to be a part of it
Really?
anymore, but he was in the contract. He was like, I know these films are bad. Like, he'd say that
Really?
on press tours
Wow.
and shit. He's just like, I'm contracted to be here. And then he instantly regretted taking the role because of the fandom.
Yeah.
He was like,
It's pretty weird.
He thought the fandom was going to be alright because he was Cedric Diggorsby. That's not...
Cedric Diggory in Harry
I
Potter.
think Diggorsby is a Pokemon. Cedric Diggory. Is that right?
Yeah, I think so.
In Harry Potter,
Yeah.
and he dealt with their fandom, and everyone thought he was a really good character in that. And he played his role really well and was really good in that.
Good actor, yeah.
And then the next thing was Twilight, and then he was succumbed to that fandom. He was
Yeah.
like, fuck.
I guess he's just unlucky that people are always going to reference him to that movie now, or the movie series.
I'm very worried, though, because Ben Affleck, before taking Batman, was highly regarded. He just pretty much won an Oscar for directing in Argo.
Pretty much.
He had won an Oscar,
Okay.
but I mean, I think really close to accepting the role of Batman. I mean,
Okay.
like a couple of years afterwards, it wasn't like he won an Oscar and then tried to reclaim his right. He was in almost prime fame, and he decided to be Batman. It was like almost a passion for him. Like he really wanted to be in this
Batman.
role, and
Don't we all?
he didn't even get a Batman film. He got Batman v Superman, which wasn't really a Batman film.
No,
It was a everyone film.
Yeah.
And he had one good scene in that film, and it was ripped to shit.
Really?
And then Justice League was awful, and he's now stepped down from being the role, and he hated the role so much, and the fandom hated how the whole entire universe was crafted. And now someone that has had the fury of one fandom hate him has now
To another.
got another fandom. I'm just like really worried for the guy.
Off his back, he'll be alright.
Yeah.
Do you reckon he'll get his own like solo movie, like the Dark Knight films? Or do you reckon he'll be like Ben Affleck in other people's films?
No, so this is a new Batman film, as in like a solo Batman film.
Cool.
And this
That'll be
was
good
going to
then.
be a solo Batman film that Ben Affleck starred in and directed and wrote.
Oh, huge.
And
Hey,
he slowly
proceed
went,
out a
someone
bit."
else is going to write it, someone else is going to direct it, also someone else is Batman. So basically, not me, please.
I'll be Robin.
Imagine.
Yeah. Ben Affleck's just Robin and Robert Pattinson. You fucker.
That would be fucking sick.
That would be good.
Part of me hopes there's like a reference to... they won't do this, but like, because there's that line where Robert Pattinson like twinkles in the light because he's a vampire in the Stephanie Meyer fucking universe. But obviously Batman's to do with the dark and the night, so I hope there's some sort of reference to him like being out in the day, and someone goes like, "Don't usually see you out in the day. Are you gonna like twinkle?" I mean, they wouldn't say that, but like, if there's a reference that's like that, that would be amazing.
Are you gonna twinkle?
Are you gonna twinkle?
Edward.
Edward. Oh, sorry, Bruce.
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 Squidward Bruce. Wait, I don't even know. Right. Well, right then. Anyway.
Squidward Bruce.
Squidward Bruce. 5 stars. Robert Pattinson. No, I think it'll do quite... I think it'll be decent, to be fair.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that iteration. I'm glad. I think they're going down the route of we're not making a cinematic universe and we're just doing lots of standalone films. And I think that's going to be the best way
that
for
would work
them,
better, yeah.
because they failed at the first time. So
They did. What's this you've written down saying Swamp Thing?
that's related to DC. So
Hey, what
Batman
a transition.
Exactly. Batman's obviously a DC character. Just in relation to DC being shit at the moment, Swamp Thing got cancelled after the second episode aired. So it was a series. Swamp Thing's a character from DC, if you don't know.
Okay. I
Who's
thought you just couldn't remember his name. You're like, that's
no, he's
Swamp
literally
Thing.
called Swamp Thing.
What should we
Sorry,
call
I
it?
didn't know.
Swamp Thing. No, I had no idea.
I mean, he's literally just like a green swamp
The last-
that's a human.
The last 2 DC movies that I've seen have been okay.
Which ones did you see?
Aquaman
Yep.
and Shazam.
Okay, I've not seen either of those, but Aquaman
They're both
I've heard
okay.
good things about. Wonder Woman's been...
I've not seen that.
that's a really good film. You should actually see that.
Okay.
The ending kind of ruins it a bit.
I've seen her in Justice League.
Yeah, she's good as Wonder Woman, and she deserves... I think... I might have missed a Wonder Woman movie. Was there Wonder Woman 2? Has that happened?
I think there's been more than one, yeah.
Because I know it's been announced, but maybe I completely missed it.
I don't know.
Missed it.
I've not
Oh,
seen
well.
any of them.
I need to watch them.
Yeah.
But yeah, Swamp Thing was cancelled literally after 2 episodes were aired, and there's still like 8 episodes more to air, and they've announced that they've cancelled the series.
Jeez.
Yeah. It's just like, how can something fail that badly?
Meanwhile,
Apparently-
Marvel are just laughing. Rolling in money.
It's a good meme. Yeah, apparently it was to do with taxes or something. Like in the state that they filmed it, the taxes were
swamp.
done really bad. In the swamp.
swamp.
The swamp tax was very high that year.
Swamps are not tax havens. That's what DC have learned.
They've learned this.
They thought they could get a good percentage, but no. The ogres come out and take 90%.
What are you doing in my swamp? I'm taking 90% of your taxes, I was going to say, but your money.
Your money. That's a bit of rubbish, though.
Yeah.
So I hope the Batman thing does help bring it up for them.
100%. They kind of need a...
A rebirth.
Yes, rebirth, reincarnation. can't remember what I was going to say.
Start
they need
over.
a re...
They need a re.
One thing that I wanted us to talk about is a reason that we weren't doing the podcast one of the days, at least, was we went to go see the KSI gig.
Hey, we did.
KSI and Randolph in Manchester. First reactions.
First reactions.
I thought it was fucking sick.
I thought it was really good too. I had a great time.
Yeah, so on entertainment value,
Yeah.
was amazing.
Brilliant.
I was like, well, I felt like I was like 40 compared to the audience, because I'm pretty sure they all
I didn't feel too bad.
I think they all just turned 18.
Yeah, I think most people are about 18.
Yeah. One of the things that genuinely made it for me was you got recognised.
Yeah.
That was so good.
You went off to get a drink, didn't you? And
You were in the fucking mosh pit.
no, it was just before the mosh pit had started.
Okay.
But we were in the like condensed crowd area,
Yeah.
right near the front.
That's what it's called. The
The condensed
area.
crowd area.
Can you get me some 2 pints of milk? Sorry, they don't have any pints anymore, but we've got some condensed crowd area.
Right
milk, if
then.
that's okay.
It was like, you know, when you got recognised at the pub because your mum's a teacher.
Yeah.
And the guy was your mum's pupil or something, and he said, "Oh, Mrs. Son," like as it was matter of fact.
Yeah.
He went up to me and went, "Mr. Williamo." He didn't
Well,
ask.
that's it.
Yeah, he wasn't like, "Are you Mr. Williamo?" Yeah, he was, "Mr. Williamo."
It's like even if you knew someone, like imagine if I just went up to you and went, "Will?" Like if we knew each other and I hadn't seen you in a
Will?
while, and I just went up to you and said your name.
Yeah, well, and I know you as well. It's not someone I
Yeah,
don't
it
know.
would be weird if we
It
knew
was
each
cool.
other.
It was really nice though.
Oh yeah, they
cool.
were well nice. If they're watching the podcast, first reactions.
But it had a TGF hoodie
Right.
merch on. Yeah,
Oh, nice.
cool. I feel like we should mention as well. I don't know if we've mentioned it on the podcast before.
What?
If anyone's listening to this who doesn't know my YouTube channel, then I'm Mr. William. I used
yeah.
to have a gaming, mainly Minecraft YouTube channel. There you go.
I think we have.
I don't know. I can't remember.
I mean, we don't obviously mention it every
Yeah.
episode, so yeah. This is a podcast with Mr. Willie Armo.
So if someone was listening and they were like, "What do they mean?" They just went up to him and went, "Mr.
They
William."
recognised it. I thought I mentioned. I said Mr. Willie Armo, but they wouldn't know that. Would
Yeah,
they?
that's what I was. That's what I meant.
Thank you for clarifying. That helps for the audio people.
The guy who was the support act was pretty good as well.
Yeah,
Big Zoo,
Big Sue.
Big Sue Chunk.
Yeah, it sounded like it was kind of quite muffled. For his
It was
for his set, so I couldn't really hear what he was saying. And then lots of people were chanting, and it sounded like they were
people
saying
knew his songs.
Big Sue, Big Sue.
Big Sue.
Before I knew he was called ZUU, like
Yeah,
Zoo.
so we
instead
thought
of
it was Sue.
Yeah, which is a good meme because Will's
My
mum
mum's called
and
Sue.
all of our friends' mums are called Sue.
Sue.
Like my mum isn't, but then my 4 friends
Yeah.
all have names called Sue. Also, I have more than 4
Nah,
friends.
she's got 4 friends. My 4 friends.
I realised as soon as I said it, I was like, shit, no, I have more than 4, I promise.
4 of your close friends' mums are called Sue. And they
My
joined together to make Big Sue.
Big Sue Chung. Oh, yeah, it was a good meme. So we were just chanting, Big Sue, and everyone else was joining in because they were like, oh, this is a good chant.
There were a couple of people that were like in their 40s or 50s that were stood to the back. And there was that woman
Yeah.
that we were like, do you reckon they've come here on purpose or they're with someone? Or do they just turn up to the academy, it was at
random
Manchester
events,
Academy,
yeah.
to random events just for like a night out? Because that would be quite fun.
Yeah, I'd do that.
But then they turn up and then they see KSI and Randolph.
They see
Like,
us chanting, Big Sue,
Sue.
Big Sue. Oh, it's so good.
But on the way to the academy, so it was like, we met in Manchester, in
Yep.
the centre, after I finished
I don't
work.
know why I'm saying yep, like you're telling me
Yep.
a story. I was there.
Yep. And it was like a 25-minute walk to the venue.
Oh my
And
god,
we
yeah.
stopped off
Our drinks. Oh dear.
pretty much every pub on the way. Not every, but almost.
Figured out we had like the equivalent of 8 shots each
Yeah, that's what I thought as well.
in the hour and walked 25 minutes.
Yeah. And then when we got there, we got 2 more drinks straight away.
Oh my god, we did as well.
First reactions. First reactions.
Oh fuck. Yeah, and you run off to have a piss and you tripped on the curb.
Oh, yeah. You're in the
In
queue.
like this massive, there was a whole entire queue for the KSI gig, and it was at Manchester Uni pretty much. So
Yeah,
like there
university.
was loads of students walking around. It was pretty much on the campus that you were running
Yeah,
down.
because there was a queue to get in and I needed a wee, so I didn't want to wait. So I ran across the road to go and find somewhere I could have a sneaky wee. Wasn't that sneaky?
You turned around.
I turned around
look
to
at
shout
me.
at you. I was like, "There, Joe!" And as I turned around, there was a big curb, and I tripped up on it. Almost fell over, but didn't.
Oh yeah, you did.
My face was like close to the floor, but
Yeah.
somehow my legs kept me
Somehow,
up.
Yeah. You
That was a
played it
good
well.
meme.
You played it well.
Played
It was
it
a
well.
very good meme.
Almost. And then KSI came on after Big Sue
Mate.
to...
Well, Randolph came on first.
Randolph
didn't
came on first.
he? But no one cares about Randolph. I'm kidding.
I mean, kind of.
I like that there was a solid meme that no one liked KSI at the gig. That every time Randolph did anything, they were like, "Woo, Randolph!"
People were chanting Randolph a lot.
Yeah. I think because it was a meme that everyone
Maybe.
was there for KSI.
People seemed good at memes. They seemed like everyone knew what was happening and what they were
Yeah,
there to
100%.
see. They weren't there to see like an outstanding musical performance that's going to take them away. Don't get me wrong, it was good, but they were there.
100%, it was really
They
good,
knew what they were going
but-
to expect.
Yeah, I wasn't
had a
there
good time
to
for
watch. I wasn't there because he was an amazing grime artist. I was there because he's a YouTuber that I think is really entertaining
Yep.
and released songs that were actually pretty good. Like I was
Some
surprised
really
at how
hype
good they
songs
are.
as well.
Pull Up is a big boy tune.
Oh, mate, I think I got the video.
Oh, the video! Yes, mate. Let's
think.
do our first reactions to the video, and I'll put it in the video.
Put it in the video, I'll send it you. And, it might be Little Boy that I have. Here it is. I just got people to tell Jamie to fuck off in the toilets.
Yeah, so our mate Jamie, who's been on the podcast, couldn't make it. So we just got people
A
to
spare
tell
ticket.
Well,
You
Will's
sold
got-
a ticket in the queue for a
yeah.
fiver.
Fucking wasted money on that. But yeah,
No, I was speaking to them in the toilets, and I was like, "Oh, is it just you three and stuff?" And they were like, "Oh, who are you with?" So I went with my mate, and one of my other mates couldn't make it. And then they were like, "Oh, what a fucking kid!" So I was like, "Oh, you can tell him if you want." Yeah, I'm alright. Pretty much. It's just that video.
Jamie, just some random guy, and then you sent it to him with no context, just people saying "fuck off, Jamie."
Okay.
I remember his response was like, "What? What did I do?"
Oh yeah, just sent it to him the video, didn't I?
He had no idea. All right, so this is us listening to Little Boy. Yeah.
I think so. They did Little Boy and then stopped it and restarted it again, didn't they?
They did that I think 3 times, because the first time that they stopped it, they were like so surprised that like we were so into Little Boy, because I don't think they were expecting it. So they stopped, but we all carried on and we kept on singing it to them, and then they did like an a cappella version where they were doing the
Nice.
ad libs, and it was sick.
I can't remember that.
And then they actually started the song again, so it was like they
Sick.
did it 3 times. It was well good.
What other songs did you like? Beerus was good.
Beerus was sick, and they played that twice I think for no reason.
Yeah? No, they did Beerus in the main set and then as an encore.
Oh,
That's what it was.
Right, okay. But mate, it's all a blur. I was just like, I was drunk as fuck. I was like, there's more songs.
But on one of the songs, I can't remember what it was, that they started the mosh pit. And we were like right in the centre. We were the one of people
Yeah, they said to do a
holding
mosh
everyone
pit.
like
Yeah,
this,
it was
putting
sick.
our arms
I
out.
was literally like, people were desperately trying to get in the middle. I was actually
like,
having to hold people back.
Wait.
I was fucking Hodor on
Wait
the
for the
bench.
drop. And then when it dropped,
Hodor
we were
for the drop.
straight in the centre.
The drop was the Night King. We were like, fuck!
I got so sweaty. Oh, do you remember when my shoe fell off in the mosh pit?
No.
It fell off and I was about to lose it. So I was like, mate, if my shoe falls off, I'm not going to get it again. So I kicked it up
I
and
remember you
caught
were
it
like, oh.
and put it in the air. Like,
Oh yeah, I tried to grab it, like throw it at KSI, I'm pretty sure.
right then.
It could be.
But then at the end of the song, I could put it back on again instead of
Yeah.
losing my nice shoe.
Another really good thing that happened, I hit the mic for the audio people, is we met fucking, I wanted to say Jim.
We met Jim. We met Metagross. Do you remember that meme?
No.
From Pixelmon.
Metagross.
We called our Metagross Simon.
Right then. We met Simon.
Yeah, we met Simon Miniminter. You went for a wee after the gig, and then he was just in the corridor.
Yeah, how
I
did
think-
you get talking
I think he
to
was
him?
just meeting fans in the corridor, and someone was in a side room because they got injured or something.
Oh shit.
They were a paramedic. I think they were fine, but then I think Simon went in to see if they're okay, just being nice.
Bloody lad.
Like, yeah. And then some dad asked for a picture with his girls, and then they all left, and it was literally just him and the tour manager. As you came out of the toilet, and I was like, Joe, Simon's over here. So we just went over,
Yeah,
didn't
I
we?
fucking had no idea. I think he had his hood up as well, so I was
Yeah.
a bit like, there's just a random guy
Yeah.
there, and you were like, Joe. Like, what?
So we just went over and said hi, and then they were trying to find out where they should go after the show, weren't they?
Yeah, we were
So
giving him little
were
tips and tricks.
Speaking to him, talking about some good places that we thought.
We were
some
like, this will be
shit
good.
places.
Well, I was like, this will be good, this will be good. Don't go here, don't go here. And I was like, but you should go here. And then Simon just looked at me and was like, it is a Wednesday, though.
It is a Wednesday.
And I was like, oh yeah, and
Yeah,
it's like
he's
half
not wrong.
11. It's probably not going to be open for
But
me.
no, I've met him before at Insomnia Festival, and he was a nice guy then, and he was equally as nice, and seemed like he had time to speak to us. Like, even though he probably didn't, he
Yeah,
was just.
the tour manager guy was like, we need to get
decent,
going.
yeah.
And he stayed for a photo then after the tour
Oh
manager.
yeah, I
said that, so-
asked him for a photo as well.
Yeah, genuinely, he was really, really nice, and I wasn't going to ask for a photo because I'm always conscious to like.
Yeah, but I never usually do either.
You want to have like something to look back on and be like, that was cool when we met Simon, and I've got a photo to show it. But at the same time, it would be nice to like. I'm sure they remember people that don't ask for those
Yeah.
kind of things much more. They're like, oh,
know what
those
you
two
mean.
nice people. But I think in that situation, we're
Yeah,
never gonna meet
we
again,
had a
so-
good conversation for like 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, genuinely, he was proper decent.
And then they were going,
Not
and
bad.
then my brain was just like, "Oh, Simon, go quick photo." And then I don't know. I'd probably feel weird if I just saw them and went straight up to him and went, "Can I have a photo?"
Oh, 100%. I would
Like,
never do that.
It was
yeah.
because we had a conversation, and then I
I mean,
don't know.
I guess
Maybe
I don't think I'd ever do that with a YouTuber. That just seems strange because I think people do it with YouTubers for the same reason I wouldn't, which is they're just a person. Like I feel,
I know what you're trying to say.
They feel like a friend to me when I'm watching them. It's a personal connection. Whereas a celebrity,
you don't know.
You feel like there's a space between you and them, so you can go up and just say, "Oh, can I have a photo?" And that seems okay. It shouldn't be okay. But
I know what you mean. It's interesting you say that because I was listening to Spencer FC, the YouTuber.
Yeah.
He was talking about he went to a school doing some kind of, I think it might have been a PlayStation.
I think I know what
brand
you're
deal,
saying, but yeah,
and he was with
really
Gareth Bale. Yeah, and all the kids were going up to Spencer, asking him for pictures and trying to speak to him and stuff.
And not Gareth
Bale.
He was like, Gareth Bale.
And Spencer was like, why are you guys not going up to Gareth Bale? It's Gareth Bale. And they were saying that because they can kind of relate to Spencer more, they feel like they can go up to him rather than Gareth Bale's like this god of a footballer that they can't relate to, so they can't go and say hi.
But that totally makes sense to me, but it would make me want to go and talk to Spencer.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really care about Spencer, but it would make me want to go and talk to him.
Whereas Gareth
not
Bale,
take a picture. And the only thing I'd feel comfortable doing to Gareth Bale is be like, hey, can I take a picture? Because he will be used to that. And I'd feel really awkward having a conversation with him because, like, imagine having the opportunity to have a conversation with not really Gareth Bale because I don't really care, but like someone that you really care about and idolise, and you fuck that one conversation up. Like, that would be so nerve-wracking. Whereas a guy that you hear speak almost every day, you can, like, you get their mannerisms, you feel like they've got the same kind of personality as you. It's easier to talk
equally,
to them.
though, they are just both people.
100%.
I mean, sometimes people who are like gods in the celebrity world, like if you saw Cristiano Ronaldo, for example, or someone like that, and you went up to them, they might not have the time, or they might not be like, oh, I'm going to speak to this person, whereas a YouTuber might be more likely to, which is
like you said,
circle.
Everyone is a person.
As a person,
everyone's a person.
Yeah, he's not wrong. But no, overall, it was a really fun gig to go to, and I'd go to another one.
Oh, 100%. It was well good.
And it was nice to meet Simon.
Yes. If for some reason Simon's watching and...
Let's title this, We Met Miniminter, at Miniminter, tag hashtag Miniminter.
Mate, this is like fucking 45 minutes into the podcast. He's watched all of it.
Yes, Simon.
Or he listened and looked at the tags in the description. Look at the time codes.
Hope you went to that club that I recommended, and then your manager looked up and was like, mate, it's only 2.5 stars out of 5.
I can't remember that, but that was a good meme. And the last thing that I wanted us to talk about is kind of just sad news, I guess.
It is.
It's about SB7, I guess, not shutting down, because they're still doing their podcast, but dropped from Rooster Teeth and confirmed stopping doing the alternative lifestyle videos.
Normal videos, I said. They're not normal videos.
No, they are not
normal for their channel, the alternative lifestyle.
They're not normal, but in the best kind of way that they're not normal. Like, SB7 for both of us has been like such a big part of the like last 2 years of my life. Like, the amount of times
in a lot of ways,
we'd watch a video and be like, mate, you need to watch this video. This is the funniest thing that I've seen.
If we went through our text conversations for the past 2 years, there'd be so many saying new SB7 video or watch this part of the SB7 video.
Yeah, 100%. And it wasn't like one-sided. It would be like pretty much you'd send it to me and then I'd send it to you, and then like whoever saw the video first would be like, mate, this time code in particular, they say something hilarious. You need to wait out for that. And I just, it upset me watching that podcast, seeing the state that they were all in. Not that they're not doing well or whatever, but they're obviously focusing on different things.
Yeah. Well, it's a big thing. Like, basically, they had a job that was fun, and they were all working together with their best mates, and they got fired. Like, there's people. Well, not the public don't know like fully why, but that'll probably come out in the future. But then going from that to then having to find their own paths in different ways, like, that's scary for anyone.
Yeah, and I resonated with what Suptic said about it. I can't remember if it was on the podcast or if it was on the official video that they did, like the last alternative lifestyle. But he said it feels different to when SourceFed ended. This feels like an ending as opposed to a new beginning.
That was on the video.
Yeah.
Because I watched that, and It was the last few words on the video. He said that it feels like it should be an ending, but it doesn't. Or
A new beginning.
A new beginning. Yeah.
It's just an ending. And then
New beginning, it's
that's
just
when
an
it cuts off, isn't it? Because it cuts off really
Just cuts
abruptly.
to black,
just
yeah.
ending. It cuts off even before he finishes saying ending. And I remembered, like, you know, like when Game of Thrones ended and there was just a black screen and you could see your face, like at the end of all the really sick episodes where you're like, oh my god, what's happened? Like, it cut to the black. And I was like,
the black.
the black. It cut to the token black guy. No,
Alfred.
it cut to the black screen and I was like so close to tears. Like, I don't.
Yeah, it's pretty deep.
I don't know if the guys at SB7 really understand like the massive. I hope they do from all the fans that are reaching out now and all the other creators, but genuinely like thoroughly impacted people's lives. Not to the point where it's like, oh yeah, do you remember those guys that were all right? Oh, that their shows stopped. Oh well, who cares? Like, genuinely, really, really upsetting. Properly affected me. I feel like because our sense of humor is so similar to like.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Kib has thoroughly influenced our sense of humor as a
Definitely.
friendship group because we pass on
Definitely.
those memes to
So many memes.
so many memes. The whole entire of the paparazzi video is amazing, which
It's one of the best videos ever.
when we get onto it, I want to dedicate our bonus reactions to paparazzi.
Okay.
And we're just going to watch paparazzi because
Yes.
it's best. I know that's not technically from SB7,
yeah.
but it was filmed directly after an SB7 video because he's wearing the same clothes and he's got the
And
blue
it's got
shirt.
two of them in it.
And it's got Steven in it.
Yeah.
And I think it's the best Kid videos are the ones with Steve that's just behind the camera and is just filming Kid being an absolute fucking mong. But oh my god, the SB7 moments, like I wouldn't even know kind of where to begin with best moments, and it's really hard with a show like that because there's so much that you just watch. It's like trying to think of your best moments from like a amazing comedy TV series that you've watched.
Yeah.
Like, there are so many, you could think, oh, this is so funny and there's so many
just
jokes.
can't.
But, like, thinking of specific jokes are really hard. But things that do spring to mind, let's get peas. Mate, that's the fact that that was... Whoa, let's get peas. The fact that that was ad-libbed, like, I'm pretty sure that he didn't prepare that and he just said that on the spot because you can see Steve laughing, I'm pretty sure, at the take.
Yeah.
Like, that was the first take that they did it and he just says that out of nowhere. And then they make it a proper thing and then he gets, like, merch on it. I'm pretty sure it was the outro of their videos for a bit, him just singing, whoa,
Yeah, I'm
whoa,
pretty sure.
let's get
Didn't they do a song
peas.
out of it?
I think they might have done.
Or it's included in a
I think
song
that
at least.
I think that started them doing music because they
Just
then went
someone
from
going,
there.
whoa, whoa, let's get peas.
Yeah.
Let's do music.
Well, then they went to just a couple friends and we're hanging
Yeah.
out again, and that's an actual like
a good song.
sick song.
They got a couple of fairly decent songs as well.
Mate, I understand
And,
now, looking back on it, why they went down the music route because they got a phone call from Rooster Teeth saying, look, mate, if your views don't go up, we're shutting your channel down.
Fuck.
So they went, let's go into
So
a different
cutthroat.
direction.
It's so cutthroat.
Yeah.
Did you watch the short film that they did?
Into the Woods or The Woods.
Into the Woods, yeah.
I think Into the Woods is like a musical, so I think it's just The Woods.
Something.
But yes,
Young Boys in the Woods.
with like Elliot Morgan and
Yeah, that was really
the normal
good.
people, so good. And apparently they wrote and shot it. They probably didn't write it in 3 days, but they shot it all in 3 days. Like, I can't believe how amazing the short story is for just being filmed in 3 days. Like, it's crazy good. And
You can tell even from their normal alternative lifestyle videos that they're so talented at editing, acting, scripting, like
I think something
all of the above.
I think there were bits that went wrong for them when they were filming it, and it kind of soured the taste for doing that kind of thing. Plus, when
What,
they
you mean
did
The Woods?
yeah,
Okay.
because I think they had plans to do more, and they kind of just didn't.
Yeah.
Steve said in one of the podcasts recently, he's got a whole entire screenplay that he's finished. That he was like, oh yeah, I finished that, because he'd sent it to a couple of people or told people about it. And Kib and James were like, you finished that? Why didn't you send it to us? And he's like, I did. And they were like, oh, did we not? He's like, yeah, I sent you loads of emails and texts and told you to read it. And no one ever did, so I just gave up on it. And I was like, fuck. Like, I know from watching the podcast quite a few times, like, I've not watched every single one, but I know that Steve hasn't been a very good friend to Kib and James on multiple occasions, I don't think. I think Steve would, like, I think that's a quote, like, I hit the mic for the audio people. I think that's a quote, like, from Steve saying that. So I'm
pretty sure I've listened to him say that as well.
Yeah,
I don't listen to it or watch as much as you anymore. I listen to the odd podcast now and again, just the audio. I don't really watch it, but I'm pretty sure I've heard him say that.
Yeah. But to hear that they were obviously so close at one point, and then they got to a point where it was just kind of work, and that he'd written a whole entire script and they hadn't even had the time or even knew about it enough to, like, they work with each other, and Steve didn't go, hey, here's my script, read it.
Yeah.
Like,
but that's one thing that can kind of suck if you start something with your mates and then it turns into a job.
Chore, rather than...
And if someone's telling you need to do this and need to do this,
100%. I don't think it's their fault.
Not gonna.
It's so sad that it clearly got to that point for them. I think one of the biggest parts for fans in general that made them stop watching was when they did season 2 of Alternative Lifestyle, because the way they ended it with another major point that was insane from SB7, that final episode of season 1,
Parker's death, or
the like storyline that they made around Parker like liking Sammy Joe and then Kib killing him.
Yeah,
like what the fuck? I remember.
Yeah, but the way they did it was really good. Like, it wasn't shit at all.
No, that ending episode, I was like, how are they going to come back from that? And then the next episode, they did it in such a memey way. You kind of like instantly got the kind of tone of the overall like universe that it was kind of set in, and it kind of made sense.
Cinematic universe for
SB7. Well, then they went really cinematic for the rest of the season, and I think that kind of lost viewership for them, and I think they noticed that, and they wanted to just close that off. And by the time that they closed that off and tried to go back to what they were doing before, they'd lost a lot of their viewers, and it's just such a shame, because to have that creative talent that is clearly there, then pressured by the company. I don't think really Rooster Teeth have done anything that wrong. I don't really know.
They can't. It's a business. They have to run it. Like, even if they're friends with them, they can't make exceptions.
Exactly.
Like, it's just the way it is.
But to have that pressure on them, on top of fans dropping off and saying, like, I can't imagine the awful shit that they would have been saying.
I know, as someone who used to do YouTube
as a failed YouTuber,
as someone who used to do YouTube for a living, that you put enough pressure on yourself.
100%.
If you have someone else putting pressure on you as well, that would just cause you to explode. And if you're working with other people at the same time, if it's just you can kind of work on yourself and do what you need to do. If you're collaborating, working, bouncing off other people, with the pressure of yourself, pressure from other people. Like,
that's one of the things that we've said, like, just talking to each other off podcast, that, like, dealing with a boss in general, like, can be really, really tricky, and, like, dealing with that kind of environment, especially when you're in, like, a creative, like, you're making subjective content that can't really be defined.
Yeah.
And they're having to...
they have to define it by
the views.
The analytics, yeah.
Yeah, which I know that's how YouTube works, but, like, that's so horrible.
Well, not just how YouTube works, that's just how money works.
Well, yeah, analytics. Like, I meant, like, YouTube analytics.
I'm sure they...
Imagine if all money was corresponded to YouTube analytics.
I'm sure a lot of the people at Rooster Teeth would have watched it and have loved it.
100%.
But
I mean,
then
the
big bosses
like,
would have been...
and that.
Yeah, they would have been like, well, it's not bringing enough money, so we can't support it anymore. Yeah. And that's unfortunately the way it is. But they'll all go on to do sick things. Like, I'm sure they will.
Kib has already announced...
Be a good thing for them.
He's already announced that him and James are going to be doing like a buddy cop similar style to Alternative Lifestyle kind of videos.
Yeah.
So I think he's basically doing his Kib videos, but like a bit more polished, which I'm really excited about. And I got really upset at the same time, because I was like, yeah, those two are carrying it on and Steve isn't. And a bit of me was like, are they doing that because they've fallen out with Steve or something like that? And then I felt like one of those people that, like, assumes things and, like, puts drama where there isn't, and I hate those kind of people.
Star.
Yeah, so I'd, like, held off from thinking that. I was like, there must be something. And then they did their latest podcast, and I think Steve said, or maybe Kib said and Steve agreed, that Steve just doesn't want to do videos. Like he's lit. When he said it feels like an ending, he kind of meant not just like SP7, but like him doing videos. Like he's really focusing on like animation now or some shit. I think he
used to do loads of Minecraft animations, and he was good at them.
Yeah, he posted a picture of like a 3D rendered head that he'd, I think, made, and it was fucking insane.
Really?
Like it looked really
he
realistic.
Seems pretty autistic left.
Oh, 100%. He spent all of his time doing this. In the latest podcast, he said he kept on getting electric shocks because he's got everything plugged into one socket. So every time his AC does a surge to like give him cool air, he gets an electric shock through his mixing desk.
What?
Yeah. And then it happened in the middle of the podcast. There was a little...
Did they all get it?
Well, the other two are sat on the bed, so he got the electric shock, and he was like, that's what I witnessed when I'm playing Fortnite.
Just accepts it. Doesn't put things into different plugs.
Look at this shit.
Yo. That's well good.
Look at the detail in that. He said accidentally made Dan Bilzerian, or however you say his name. Who, coincidentally... That's Kib. That's who Kib's working for now.
Is he?
Yeah, he's working at the Twitch/video production department for Dan Bilzerian for like his Twitch. So he's a producer/host/ all these kind of different job roles.
Pretty sure his Twitch got banned the other month because he was doing some kind of challenge where girls in bikinis were running on a treadmill to win like money, like a Mr. Beast challenge.
Yeah,
but obviously that's against the terms of service because it's just boobs bouncing up and down.
Well, girls in bikinis ... like some sort of challenge with girls in bikinis ... is basically everything that he does.
Yeah,
and
I know.
I've seen clips of Kib hosting a thing.
Really?
And
it doesn't seem like he'd fit in that world at all.
It's girls in bikinis doing a slip and slide and then drinking beer.
And
That's
the
the
kid's
challenge.
just there like...
So yeah, that's what he's doing now. He's basically just filming girls in bikinis, and I don't know if it's because we know it's Kib.
Yeah, probably.
But he doesn't fit in at all.
It doesn't seem like it.
It looks.
I mean, he probably does. He probably does a good job. But because we see him as Kib.
And because I see him as Kip,
Yeah.
Kip. It does seem a bit
Chip
weird.
and Kip.
But it was really nice to see the community like get behind him, like SourceFeds
and YouTubers.
SourceFeds video.
Philly DeFranco.
Philip DeFranco. The Valley Folk, not SourceFeds.
Yeah, that's it. Pretty much SourceFed.
Yeah. Well, it was great that after so long of them leaving SourceFed and SourceFed ending, the Valley Folk came together again. So that's making me hold hope for SB7. And I know they're still doing the podcast and stuff like that. But to come together and for Steve to get the want to make videos like creatively, to be creative in that way, because it would be such a waste if he...
I think in the long term it'll be a good thing for them.
Yeah,
it'll
100%.
help rejuvenate it and hopefully help them bring new content out.
Yeah.
Whether that's together or separately.
And that's...
They'll figure that out, but...
I can tell... Doesn't matter what, even if Steve, basically I want what's best for Steve, so if he's not feeling like he's doing videos, don't do videos, mate. Like if he's happy doing his animation and that's what's working for him, then he's gonna do fucking sick at it so he can do whatever he wants. He's autistic as fuck. So whatever he puts his mind to, he'll be able to do.
Just be Steven Suptic for a bit.
Yeah. Instead of being the Steve Chicken Boy that we all know.
Chicken Boy. It's bonus reactions time.
Bonus reactions time. We have time for bonus reactions, and it's going to be the Kib video, Paparazzi, which we literally like quote, I'd say on a weekly basis. Let's cut to the start, and then we're going to pause after every quote that we think is really funny. So let's see how many times we pause. This could be a drinking game. Drink for every time that we pause the video.
Do it.
What a brilliant day. Excuse me.
Mate, no.
General, oh yeah.
No.
Oh yeah.
I like the fact that he says fucking Boris. He goes, Boris. Gerald.
Boris.
Mate, no.
General, oh yeah.
No, yeah, it's me, Gerald, oh yeah.
I
No.
don't fucking believe
I'm
it.
just trying to be a normal man, alright, little girl?
It's a fancy seeing you in the middle of the net off
That's
phone.
right, okay, at least come with me then, because...
those those subtitles are
Yeah, I
fucking
know.
on point because you can tell Steve's just saying random shit. Nut off, fold me.
That's me and you in the middle of nut off, fold me.
So I've got things to do. I'm not a busy man.
Talk about a funny interaction.
Listen, little girl, you're a sweet little lass, but I'm trying to have a life here. I'm trying to have a wife, and I've got a knife.
Well,
That line, every time anyone says wife, life, or knife,
We always rhyme it.
yeah, we say the other two.
Yeah.
It's so good. Oh my god.
Pretty sure I've even said it in the podcast before.
Yeah, we have.
I'm almost certain we have.
And then I think afterwards went, it's a niche.
Yeah,
No one
yeah.
else is gonna get it.
well,
This is
well,
why.
let's look up to you, Gerald.
Why is that? Because of my career then? You're an odd-shaped girl, you are.
I'm not a girl.
Supple breasts. I
Well,
think
you've
he
got
says.
nice ones. I'm sorry, lads, I didn't mean to bring...
Oh yeah! Random Chinese people just walking past.
Sorry,
I'm
lads.
sorry, lads. Didn't mean to
Two
disturb you.
Asian girls. Sorry, lads.
I'm not a girl.
Well, you've got nice ones. I'm sorry, lads, I
nice
didn't mean to bring the
ones.
paparazzi here. All right.
What project are you working on next, Gerald?
Next project. Amateur. Midget.
Love style.
Amateur midget lifestyle.
Absolutely.
What is the genre?
What is the genre? Oh, that's so good.
It's a bit of a romantic thing with the clothes
So
on.
clothes off, here we are.
Knock me off.
That's Nosh Me Off is a thing that all of our friends say now because we've said it so
Much. It's just a normal thing to say.
Mate, there is so many
Nosh me
quotes in
off.
this video. We're 1 minute in, literally only 1 minute in. How many drinks have we done so far?
Not me asking, Gerald.
Yeah,
The
mate.
blood is a bit
Obnoxious!
I was jumped on the street the other day, stabbed in all my kidneys.
One here, one
here, none there. Up here, tree style.
Tree style.
His fucking improv is just so fucking insane that even though I've watched this video, I'd probably
It still
say 50
catches you
times,
out, yeah.
I know he goes one here. I can never remember what happens next. He goes up here.
Oh, bitch. Tree style.
Gerald, is there any other thing I can do to help?
You got this weird teeth thing going on where you're talking like this.
Yes, I was born.
Oh my goodness.
Mate, I keep on forgetting all the juicy bits of gold
Yeah,
this video has.
Oh my
we always quote Gundage, and then the next bit, which is the my uncle had a Gundage
Gundian
farm,
farm.
but it's not letting me in anymore.
Ah, you've got Gundage.
Yes, it's mildly
My
understanding.
uncle had Gundage and he gave it to me.
Your uncle had gunions?
My uncle had an onion farm, but it's not letting me go in anymore.
Why not?
I keep stomping on the bellends. No, what really happened here, small child walks up to me, clanks me one in the nuts, I drop to my knees, pop him one in the nuts, they were both just on the ground fucking bliming each other's nuts.
Only there's a lot of story, Gerald.
I feel like that's one that we need to start saying to each other after someone's finished saying something. Well, that's quite a story, Gerald.
They arrested me for meeting bad slatter.
How'd you get the name? Oh yeah, I mean we've all heard things, but we
We've all heard things, but in the heaven.
I need to go back and play that again without me repeating it because I knew it was coming, so I wanted to say it, but we just need to hear it in its
How'd you get the
goodness.
name? Oh yeah, I mean we've all heard things, but we never did.
I got the name Geraldo, yeah.
How'd you even make that
when I
noise?
was a wee boy. I actually, believe it or not, saved a kitten from a tree. There was a deaf man, mute as a hell,
Blind as a
blind,
bumbeezel.
ugly as a sheep, ghostly as a mean beezel. Once
Ghostly
I
as a
saved
mean
his cat
beezel,
man,
that's it.
came up to him, you know what he said?
Oh, did you don't?
He spoke for the first time in his life and he said, he looked me in my eyes with his blind, ghostly bum eggs. He said, oh yeah,
Gerald.
Gerald. Anyways, mate, I've got to lie down, I've got
Sorry, can we get a round of applause for that fucking line?
Oh, yeah.
It looks me right in the bummock.
It says, Felix. Oh, yeah. Gerald.
get my rest for my routine.
If you don't mind me asking, one thing before you go.
What?
What?
I just wanted to know if it was true that you said on stage in 2014.
What did I say that you think I said, man?
I was in the front row, okay?
Right.
And I looked out of the side of them,
You were there?
I was right in the front of the concert, and you say that to the stage. You looked me directly right in my
Cockhead.
eye.
Not your cockhead, mate. Spit it out.
It's something I've lived with for 1,000 years.
Sorry, sort of rat. Continue.
The bees and the trees, you don't have to worry about nature.
Well, you know what, mate? You got supple breasts.
I'm skinny, and
You've
I'm a
got
man.
eyes as far as the oceans are apart.
That line is one of the best fucking lines in anything ever. You've got eyes as far as the oceans are. Oh, it's so funny. I love
Got a forehead I could just dance on all goddamn day. You don't mean it? It's true, you can't believe nature. You wanna know why?
I know, you got no eye.
Nature, beautiful as it is, you go eat a fucking poisonous berry, you'll be fucking puking up.
Puking up for tonight,
What's
son.
that?
You'll be puking up for tonight's son, tomorrow's sister, and last week's Auntie Candace.
Tomorrow nights I slept awake and I said, nature, I don't have to believe it.
Oh, rude. Starting this car right by my sleep house. How dare he? Are you going to cuddle up or you not?
Okay.
Get in here, mate. You want me to hold your wee, what is this? It's just an iPhone 5?
It's a DSLR.
Alright, get in here, mate. Mate, next time you see me on the streets, cross the Cockhead Road. Okay? Good night.
Such a good video, man.
Sleep with your eyes open.
Oh my fucking god.
And that is SP7
Mate,
royalty.
that is such a fucking good video. Oh my god. I need a
Last week's Auntie Candace.
cross the cockhead road.
What's the genre? The only 5-star podcast.
That's the genre.
On Apple Podcasts, that's what we should
Oh
have
my
put.
god, mate, I'm actually crying. Okay, that was amazing. So, I mean, I was going to say if you haven't watched the video, you should go watch it, but in case you kind of just watched
If
it.
you just listen to the audio, go watch it.
Yes, 100%. All of their videos are amazing. All of Kib's videos, his like sketchy videos that he did in the time of SB7's like epitome. All of their videos are amazing. So if you have never heard of SB7, go and watch some of their videos.
If you've listened to all of that.
And they're like, nah, it's not
Nah.
for me. Imagine. I mean, if you watch this podcast, I'm sure you have a similar humour to SB7 because we have a similar humour to them.
Yeah.
And I don't think people
Gerald.
really listen to this podcast for our intellectual ability or our takes on things. So.
Oh, yeah, Gerald.
Oh, yeah, Gerald.
Do you have any particular video that we should watch? I feel like it's a good place to end.
I feel like we should watch the outro.
Let's watch the outro.
It's a Visual Reactions Podcast. Visual Reactions Podcast.